So I think the best way to describe this book, um, here we are, The Lines That Make Us, is not to say that it's a collection of stories that have happened on the city bus that I drive, although that is true, but to briefly explain that I get an enormous amount of satisfaction out of the sense of belonging that comes with interacting with strangers. When you have a positive interaction with a stranger, there is from a neurological standpoint, a brain reaction that occurs that makes you feel good that does not happen when you're with your friends or family or people you know. When you have a positive encounter with a stranger, you feel a sense of belonging to society at large and the world as a whole, which you don't feel when you're with people you know. And perhaps you can relate to that feeling when you've had a friendly encounter talking about the weather or sports or something, or the pandemic now, um, when you're at the grocery store. And that sense of belonging is pretty special because the way society is structured now, more than ever, we feel more alone. You don't need me to tell you that. But this job that I have, driving metro buses, allows me to have those types of amazing, small, beautiful encounters with strangers that give my brain a sense of belonging all day long. And I love this job for that reason. I and I write a blog of stories that have taken place on my bus that generally have something to do with positive interactions between strangers, whether between myself and a passenger or passenger on passenger. Um, and the blog has become very successful, and this book is correspondingly a collection of stories from the blog that I find to be not necessarily the best, but the most personal. And it's been a real treat to share with people. I'm thrilled that City of Redmond and Microsoft have taken an interest, particularly because I grew up in Redmond and worked at the Redmond Library, and not once did I ever imagine that I would have a book in the system. Um, and this all came about not necessarily because I was desperate to publish a book. It has always been a goal, but it has come about really sort of as a byproduct of having a good time collaborating with my art making friends. My graphic designer friend who approached me with the idea, others who helped me with the stories, people who encouraged me to begin writing the blog, and so forth. And I am surprised and thrilled that it's become award nominated, the bestseller, and so on. I don't want to toot my horn mentioning those things. You can read about them if you like, but I bring them up only to highlight the fact that when I began this blog, and same thing with when I started the book, I thought this was just going to be something I would show my friends. You know, here's what I do when I'm working. Little picture window of what my job is like. And I did not expect this to take off. The fact that it has taken off is gratifying, more for than the obvious reasons, um, because it suggests that there is a groundswell of support out there for the idea that treating each other with kindness has currency, is attractive right now, is compelling to read about. People come up to me who work in customer service jobs or in the medical field, where similar to my job, they interact with a wide range of folks and these stories have resonance for them. Conversely, I also get feedback from folks who work in managerial or administrative positions, who like having this armchair view of here are some of the beautiful things that happen out there on the street that I don't get to be party to because of my life circumstances. So, this is the book for you if you do not have time to roll around with me on the bus in the middle of the night in South Seattle and but you still want to hear a little bit about what goes on out there. And it's not all bad news. Most of my stories are about the unexpectedly positive interactions, as I mentioned earlier. Um, and it's very gratifying, and I'm absolutely thrilled that you guys have taken an interest. Check out the book if you like. It's on my website. It's available through Elliott Bay, through Third Place Books, through Redmond Library. The King County Library System has a ton of copies. Reach out to me directly, as we're in the process of printing a new print run. This thing has been selling out a lot quicker than we imagined. So if you're having difficulty getting a copy, let me or Chin Music Press, the publisher, know. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll be seeing you again soon.